When we think about infrastructure engineering software, it is impossible not to consider the role artificial intelligence can play in significantly improving project delivery and asset performance. Bentley is not new to artificial intelligence. We already use AI in our software for asset monitoring and inspection use cases. But we see huge potential for generative AI during the design phase of infrastructure. Julien Moutte, our Chief Technology Officer, can tell us more about Bentley's vision here. Bonjour Julien, what can we expect from Bentley in generative AI capabilities for design?
Well, thank you, Nicholas, for having me in that conversation. As the name states, generative AI is really about generating content, generating new things. And with Bentley and our infrastructure engineering tools, you can first expect to see generative AI help create design drawings. The production of drawings is something that is very tedious and repetitive today. And using generative AI to automate the creation of those drawings could potentially save 30 to 50% of their work time, being able to take more of the backlog that they have to address, which is huge, and they don't have enough time and resources to do that. Secondly, generative AI can also help creating and proposing alternatives or recommendations for better designs. How can we create a design that is easier to build, that requires less energy, that requires less raw materials, that is not going to require some rework, that is efficient in every possible way, and that is reducing its footprint on the environment, etc. So last year at our Year in Infrastructure conference in Singapore, we presented some of the research projects we're working on. And one of those first projects is in helping engineers accelerate and automate their work in site design. When they are designing a new site for construction, they can use generative AI to look at this design space, exploring alternatives to find the best possible alternatives based on a variety of criteria. And generative AI is going to help engineers build that infrastructure better and come up with designs that are going to be more efficient and make sure that as we work on that backlog of infrastructure, we are being part of the solution and not creating a bigger problem for environment resiliency. And being able to take into consideration new kind of materials, new ways of approaching a design so that it's more resilient to those new conditions is something where generative AI is going to help the engineers come up with much better designs for that challenging environment, to be honest.
Thank you, Julien. Our vision of AI at Bentley is one that will greatly improve the efficiency and effectiveness of infrastructure engineers and help close the engineering resource capacity gap.